Hey guys, welcome to my channel. What are these niche perfumes? Let's start from the beginning. Let's break it down. Let's just talk about niche. We'll just talk about perfumes later. So, I just googled the term niche. What came up was something along the lines of a specialized segment in the market for a particular kind of product or a service. Now, putting this into context of niche perfume houses, these niche perfume houses specialize in making fragrances. Now, these fragrances can be in the form of perfumes, they can be in the form of body oils, they can be in the form of hair mists, candles, but sticking to the concept of fragrances. So, as these niche perfume houses only specialize in making perfumes and fragrances, they put in a lot of thought, effort, uniqueness, and refinement in the juices that they create. So how this is different from the designer perfume brands is these designer perfume brands are multi-million dollar companies which don't just specialize in creating fragrances. They create a million other things like clothes or footwear or handbags, and etc. Just the list just goes on. And the perfume or the fragrances sit in one of their areas of focus, which is beauty. They don't have a dedicated fragrance line or anything like that, although there are some which have private lines. So now that we have established the differences between niche perfume houses and designer perfume houses, let's talk about the perfumes. So if we get into the designer fragrances and how they're designed and formulated, it is a fact that most of the designer fragrances are quite mass appealing. So you will rarely meet anyone who smells a designer perfume and they don't like it, or they absolutely hate it, or they say that, okay, this perfume is not for me and I will never wear it. It can happen, but it is very rare because it's usually designed as a crowd pleasing fragrance, right? You may prefer one over the other, but I don't think you will have like actual hate for that perfume. Since these designer fragrances are so crowd pleasing and mass appealing, many people tend to buy them, right? And when many people buy a certain fragrance, which is marketed well, which is advertised well, which for which you see ads on every single social media app, or even on television or even on billboards, they take they feature such huge Hollywood celebrities, Bollywood celebrities, depending on what region it is. So it's but natural that many people get attracted to these fragrances and, they wear and buy these perfumes. Now, when many people smell a certain way, there is no way for you to stand out in a crowd. You won't smell unique or different than others, as you'll just smell like everyone else. This is where the niche perfumes come in. So niche perfumes generally have a quite a distinct character. You may not have smelled that perfume on anyone else. You may not be able to point out or even remember when you last smelled a perfume, right? So it's quite unique in that sense that when you spray it on, or when you try when you try a niche perfume, there are very low chances that like 100 people already own that fragrance. Usually you will be the only one wearing it, which means you will stand out in a crowd. You will always smell different, you will smell unique, you'll smell exclusive. There'll be no one else smelling like you. And of course, everyone wants, I mean, at least I know that I want to smell that way, because I want people to stop me and ask me what I'm wearing. And they won't do that if they have already smelled the perfume, right? And this is why I prefer wearing niche perfumes as well, because they are quite refined. Because the company specializes in only making these perfumes and fragrances, they make sure that they deliver a product which is like top notch, which has beautifully refined fragrances, which has notes blended in such a way that it is so difficult to separate out the notes that you smell. Also, smaller details like the bottles, the way they design the bottles, the packaging that they do, the tiny details that they put in with, how the bottle looks, the shape of the bottle, the cap that they put on it. There are so many things which just really stand out to me, which really resonate a lot with me. Speaking of price point as the next segment, this actually differs for the niche perfumes and the designer perfumes. So now, considering the designer fragrances and the reachability of it, how they are so readily available globally, how they have a mass appeal, and the way they are marketed, it is very apparent that these companies want to sell a lot of bottles of the perfumes that they create, which means that the price point usually sits on a lower end. So basically it lies anywhere between moderate to the lower end of the spectrum. However, when we talk about niche perfumes, because there are so many details in it, there is so much thought, there is so much creativity, quality wise it is top notch, it is so well refined, it is so well blended, even the packaging is outstanding. So all these factors lead to a slightly higher price point. While some of the niche perfume brands are comparable to the designer perfume brands as well, but the really luxury ones just sit towards the pricier end of the spectrum. Okay, so let's get into the last segment of this comparison, which is discussing the actual perfumes and the actual perfume brand names. So, in terms of designer perfumes, we all know we have Dior, we have Gucci, Prada, we have Carolina Herrera, we have Burberry. There are like countless number of brands, designer brands that we all have heard of, and I'm very sure that you also own one of these perfumes. So that's fantastic. I do too. But the more exciting part is that we're discussing the niche perfume brands now. So, some of the amazing niche perfume brands that I personally adore are Nishane, there's Fragrance du Bois, there is Initio Parfums Privé. This brand I absolutely love. So there are some niche perfume houses which also dedicatedly make some mass appealing fragrances which actually work for everyone, and everyone really enjoys wearing these perfumes. So some of those houses are MFK, which is Maison Francis Kurkdushan, de Change, and the other one is Parfums de Marly. Now these two brands have absolutely created some masterpieces like blockbuster fragrances like Baccarat Rouge 540. If you are into niche perfumes, or if you have done even a little bit of research on niche perfumes, I will be surprised if you haven't heard of this name. Other than that, we have Delina by Parfums de Marly. There is Leighton. There is Herod by Parfums de Marly. These perfumes are really crowd pleasing as well. Everyone who smells it usually falls in love with these perfumes. So, yeah, these are some of the perfume houses and some perfume brands which I like. I love perfumes from both these categories. I love designer perfumes as well. I love and I enjoy and I absolutely adore niche perfumes as well. I started my niche perfume journey around 3 years ago, and there is no stopping. I am really enjoying this journey, and that's why I want to bring you along with me so that we can smell these perfumes together, we can explore newer brands together, and you can share your thoughts with me, and what you like, what you don't like, what notes you don't like, what you enjoy. You can just put everything in the comments below, and I would love to read your thoughts on it, because my intention is to build a community, who I can, who I can chat with about these fragrances, and who I can um, talk to about perfumes, because I personally enjoy doing that. So I would really like to find some like minded people. So, yeah, that was all I had for you today. I hope I could impart some of the knowledge that I have gained over these 3 years with you about the niche perfume industry. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you are already in your niche perfume journey, if you are just getting started, if you are like knee deep. And if you can provide some recommendations to me, I would be happy and really glad to, read through the comments for any suggestions that you may have for me. I will leave all the required details in the description below, so go ahead and check it out. Also, I post a new video every Sunday, so it's a weekly Sunday thing. Just go check it out. And I hope I see you next time. Thank you for watching, and also remember to spread those good vibes and beautiful scents wherever you go. Thank you.